What's up, you guys? My name is Jacob Darkblade. I'm your YouTuber heavyweight champion of the world, and this is my 2016 Payback predictions. Now I'm going to sit down as I talk. We have a pretty stacked card made by Shane McMahon for this Payback, with basically his first month in charge of what I hope will be a long journey, and I'll talk more about that later. I'm going to go through what I believe the card is going to be stacked by like match after match, even though we already know the pre-show, which is kind of sad because it's been the same match 3 months in a row, if I'm correct. Ryback versus Kalisto, Ryback versus Kalisto, Ryback versus Kalisto. But let's get started. Now, our first match we have is Ryback versus Kalisto. Now, as many who might not know, Kalisto won the United States Championship off of Alberto Del Rio, what I believe was at the Royal Rumble. I'm trying to make sure I'm correct. Yeah, pretty much I think so. But now he's been on a pretty good win streak come title defenses, but his in-ring ability on like Raw and all that's not been that good. In comparison to Ryback, he's kind of the opposite. He's been beating others in singles competition, but not been able to get the win in a title match. Now, who do I think is going to win this match? I think that Ryback needs a win because he's been kind of in a losing streak come the pay-per-views. So he needs to either win or he loses, but they put the title on someone else a little bit after. But I'm going with Ryback on this one. So, yeah. Now we're going to go to the beginning of the show, where I believe it's going to start with a match. It's not going to start with Vince McMahon. That's going to be somewhere like right before the main event, if I think. Now we have Baron Corbin versus Dolph Ziggler, which I believe is going to be a heck of a fight. Honestly, think it should not be a regular match. It should be something like a street fight, a no-holds-barred match, something like that. But I think you gotta let Baron Corbin win because he's very new to the WWE. You shouldn't just let him start with a loss in his first pay-per-view loss. That's not a battle royal. You shouldn't start a superstar horribly like that who has great potential in becoming the next WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Intercontinental Champion, etc. But Dolph Ziggler, he's been going through a bit of a down path for the past few months ever since he lost the World Heavyweight Championship about two years ago, if I'm correct. Because that was like the height of his career, winning it the night after WrestleMania by cashing in on Alberto Del Rio whenever he was with AJ Lee and Big E Langston. But yeah, I believe Baron Corbin's going to win. I'm sorry that who might say Dolph Ziggler is such a good good wrestler. I know he works hard, but I honestly think he's starting to really dwindle down to go into the. But I think they're going to give him a push soon. He deserves a push. He works every night, giving it all he got and etc. Now we got the we're gonna have Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. Now, the reason I did not put this one up further is because... Now, actually, I'm going to switch it. I'm going to put Dean Ambrose versus Y2J Chris Jericho. Now, this is going to be I don't really think this is going to be really that interesting because if Y2J wins, then it's going to be basically pointless. And they should have added some weird stipulation of like the winner keeps their show, but the loser has to get rid of their shows. I'm sorry, I was just moving something so I can fix my camera. But I think that Dean Ambrose has to win. He's been on a bit of a losing streak also. Like him losing at Fastlane to Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. And then also to him losing to Brock Lesnar in a no-holds-barred street fight, which was very, very lopsided. But Dean Ambrose has to win, and Y2J, he needs to just leave the company. We all know he isn't as good as he was back in the 90s, in the early 2000s. But now we got the other match, which is Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. Now, this is going to be a rebirth from, it's basically a rivalry from NXT, when Sami Zayn first won the NXT Championship, and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn were like best friends, but then Kevin Owens turns on him that same night. I believe it was in Revival, the NXT Revival, or it was NXT Takeover. I'm not sure, but this is also going to lead into what I believe is going to be a long-running feud. I think that the Intercontinental title or some other title is going to become a part of it, but I honestly think that Sami Zayn has to win. This is a must-win situation where you have to shut up Kevin Owens for once, because Kevin Owens is basically the one who talks most of smack, but Sami Zayn needs to back up why he says, I can back up his theory on how he's better than Kevin Owens. Like, for example, he lost to Shinsuke Nakamura in NXT TakeOver Dallas, which was a heck of a match. And now he needs to show that that match wasn't just for nothing, because William Regal gave him that match because he believed he deserved that match. He deserved to face Shinsuke Nakamura, one of the king of strong style. But Sami Zayn needs a first pay-per-view win. That's not a ladder match, but he needs to win. Kevin Owens, he's been here for a while. He doesn't really need to win, because he's still going to try to say how he's better than everyone else and all that, which I think is kind of dumb, but yeah. Now we're going to go to the Intercontinental title match, which is Cesaro versus The Miz with Maurice. Now, your champion right here is The Miz. And he has to defend against the King of Swing, the Swiss Superman, Cesaro, who made his his wonderful return on, I believe, on like the Monday after WrestleMania, where he faced Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and who was he? AJ Styles for the WWE World Heavy. No, it was Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens, Cesaro, and Sami Zayn. It was someone else, I forgot. But I'm trying to see if I can remember. I forgot. But like, he lost the match, but AJ Styles won. But now he's putting in the title picture for the Intercontinental, which I believe he should win this match. Like, if I was a person on the WWE creative team, I would give Cesaro his first title run, because he's not had a title run that's since he's went from a heel to a face. Because his first title, well, I'm not talking about the NXT. I mean the tag team titles, because I know it was him and Tyson Kidd. I'm talking about singles, but like Cesaro needs to get his first title run as a face in singles competition, where his first title was the United States Championship back in whenever he was with Oksana, who is no longer wrestling for the WWE, who was fired about 2 years ago. Now, what they're going to do, they're going to make everyone mad and have The Miz win, because Miz is the heel in this state, and Maurice is going to do something to help The Miz win. Which is why I believe The Miz is going to win. I have nothing against Cesaro. I just don't like The Miz, but he's going to sadly win. Now we're going to go to the number one contenders match for the WWE World Tag Team Championships. We have Enzo and Cass face the I swear to God, I'm gonna butcher his name. I'm just gonna call them the villains. I still do not. It's hard to understand their tag team name because it's spelled so weirdly. Like, it's weird. But I call them the Vile Villains, the Vendor Villains. If I'm right, tell me. But this is actually gonna be a really good match. I honestly, a lot of these matches are going to be really good, but this is going to probably be the one that takes the cake, because, except for the Divas match, I think that one's going to be pretty decent, but you have both your tag teams that came from NXT in a pay-per-view, again, that were having to face many other people who are in the WWE for longer. Where you see these two teams just slide right by. Now, who needs the win? Well, it's simple. Enzo and Cass. Who is going to win? Enzo and Cass. And I believe that there is only one word to describe the Thunder Villains, and I'm gonna spell it out for you. SAWFT. Soft. And the Thunder Villains are just not ready to win the tag team titles. I'm gonna go for that, but I believe Enzo and Cass are. Now on to the second last match for... Actually, no. I'm going to actually change this up again. Now we're going to go to reveal who is going to run Monday Night Raw. Will it be Shane? Will it be Stephanie? Now, this is all in the hands of Vince and Kennedy McMahon. Now, a lot of people have been on rumors with the brand split. The thing they tried a few years back, and it was kind of decent. The people that didn't like were just a couple of haters. They're just a couple of haters. But I would love for there to be a brand split. But the only thing is, there's only 3 singles titles. How that wouldn't really work unless you have the WWE World Heavyweight Champion go to 2 work with both brands. But I don't think it's really going to happen yet, and unless they split the titles, they bring back the the Heavyweight Championship. That would be the only case why or unless they get rid of the United States or the Intercontinental. If they were, it'd probably be the United States, because the Intercontinental has been in for generations. And it's been in such huge... It's been... a big part of the WWE from like the match of Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels in the ladder match to many others. But I believe that they should, but it's not going to happen. And I believe that the runner of Monday Night Raw will be boom! I'm just kidding, Shane McMahon. Look what Shane's done lately. He has brought a bunch of new superstars. Many people who need to get pushed to the top. AJ Styles, Baron Corbin, Apollo Crews, Enzo and Cass, and many, many others. Now, I know that a lot of people are going to say, but Jacob, Vince likes Stephanie. Vince won Shane lost at WrestleMania. Okay. But if he lost at Mania, but the Mania match basically made no sense because he was running Raw the past month. But I believe Shane's going to run it, but I believe there's going to be a bit of... I believe Stephanie McMahon's going to be turned into a heel against her own father, which that might lead to a brand split, but I'm not sure exactly. But I believe the person that's going to be running Raw is Shane McMahon. Now we're going to go to the Women's Championship match. I'm so happy to say that finally we have a women's division, not a divas division, a women's division. These aren't 13-year-olds wrestling, these are freaking 30-year-olds. Now, you have Natalya with Brett, with what we think what will happen. Bret the Hitman Hart will be at WWE Payback versus Charlotte, who is your current women's champion, could possibly be Ric Flair, because there were supposedly rumors that there was something that Ric Flair got injured. Well, it wasn't really an injury, it was like health problems because he was on the road way too much, even though he is like a 60-year-old man. But Natalya, this is actually bringing a lot of hope for Natalya. I think that Natalya more likely will win, because now she's not really going 2-on-1 Charlotte and Ric Flair versus herself. Now she has some help with Bret. Now, if Charlotte wins this match, I believe it's going to throw this women's division out of whack, because for Charlotte being the champion and getting the women's championship right as she was Divas champion, it makes no sense why she should win the title, since she should be holding the title since TLC, which I believe that it was either TLC or Survivor Series where she beat Nikki Bella for it. That was whenever she was with Becky Lynch and Paige. But Natalya needs a win here. She hasn't been champion since about 2011. I think it's even before that. She hasn't been champion in a long, long time. bunch of these divas have. A bunch of these women have. And I know I've said Divas champion, but you catch my drift. Now, Natalya needs a win here, and that's that. And now finally we have our main, lame, probably the worst match on the card. But it's probably going to be better because everybody likes one of the people in this match. AJ Styles versus Roman Reigns for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Now, this is Chicago we're in. What superstar do they not like in Chicago? Roman Reigns. Don't tell me I said that. But everybody hates Roman Reigns right now. He is a heel, whether the doubt. You call him a bad guy, where he says, I'm not a bad guy. I'm not a good guy. I'm the guy. I'm the guy. But I want AJ Styles to win so bad, but Roman Reigns is going to sadly win because there's going to be one of two things. One, it's the story, and they're going to basically hate. They're going to keep Roman as champion for as long as the time as they want him to. Or we might have a attack by Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows attacking either AJ Styles or Roman Reigns. If they attack AJ Styles, then probably Balor's going to be coming on Monday Night Raw that next night. Or they'll attack Roman Reigns. What is it, disqualification? I don't know, but yeah. That's basically my predictions for the 2016 Payback. I'm not editing this film because I need to try to get it out as soon as I can. Sorry I didn't make it any sooner. I've been real busy. I've been doing stuff. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys leave a comment. I hope you guys subscribe for more. This is Jacob Darkblade, your YouTuber heavyweight champion of the world. And I am out.